Hi, I'm Dylan Meyer, and my speech is on how to be accepted into law school. Have you ever pictured yourself as a lawyer in a courtroom, presenting evidence and cross-examining witnesses to win your case? A lawyer is one of the most well-respected professions. However, becoming one is not all that easy. So how does one go about becoming an advocate of the law? I've done extensive research on the process of applying to law school, and through this research, I've come to a conclusion. Being accepted into law school depends on two things. One, a solid undergraduate GPA, and two, a high score on the LSAT. Forget all the nonsense about taking classes on law, the court systems, or criminal justice. What you should really be focusing on is how to score high on the LSAT. An applicant's score on the LSAT, or law school admissions test, is the most important part of the application process when applying for law school. When asked about the importance of the LSAT score, David E. Van Zandt, Dean of Admissions for Northwestern Law, stated, quote, "The LSAT tends to be more important than GPA because it is a standard measure that everyone has to complete," end quote. Law schools use the LSAT as an equalizer. Since different colleges have different academic expectations, a student with a 3.4 GPA at one school may be equally intelligent to a student with a 3.9 GPA at another school. Professor Daniel R. Pinello of the Department of Political Science from John Jay College of Criminal Justice of the City University of New York states it perfectly. One college, quote, "One college might have a very high academic standards, while another might not. So an A at one school is not the same as an A somewhere else," end quote. There needs to be some way to level the playing field for applicants, and the LSAT does just that. Barbara W. Gualame, Director of Law Admission Services for Penn State Law, speaks of the importance of the LSAT. Quote, "The LSAT score is the most accurate standardized indicator of success in the first year of law school," end quote. Therefore, if an applicant does poorly on the LSAT, it is an indicator that they will also do poorly in their first year of law school. Students who score high on the LSAT are also regarded highly by admissions faculty, and thus have a greater chance of being accepted into law school. Another highly regarded factor about the admissions faculty is undergraduate GPA. A student's GPA, or grade point average, may be the determining factor of whether they are accepted into law school or rejected from law school. Professor Vincent D. Regow, Dean of Admissions for Boston College Law School, says that GPA can sometimes be just as important as the score on the LSAT. Quote, "A candidate's performance during college must be considered alongside performance on the LSAT to gauge academic achievement and preparedness," end quote. In other words, a student cannot simply slide their way through college and expect to be accepted into law school based on a high LSAT score. Another reason to keep your GPA up is a strong GPA to make up for weaker parts of your application. David Whitman, Dean of the University of Minnesota Law School, stated, quote, "An applicant's LSAT score can be enhanced by a strong undergraduate GPA and vice versa," end quote. Students must show a will for dedication and determination in order to be accepted into law school. This can easily be demonstrated by maintaining a good GPA. Admissions faculty recognize the amazing aptitude for students with high GPAs and are willing to put them ahead of the rest of the students in the application process. If you're applying for law school and you want your application to be a step ahead of the rest, there are two key factors. The LSAT and undergraduate GPA are the two components that are considered the most when applying for law school. Nothing can compare to weight that they carry through the application process. So don't mess around in school. Keep your grades up, study hard for that LSAT. You'll almost be guaranteed a spot in law.